Hey guys, Portia here. Today I'll be creating a design for Mother's Day. I picked up this 12-ounce tumbler from Etsy. I really liked it because it is straight walled, so we don't really have to worry about the curve of the design. I can make a very simple wrap going all the way around. It'll stop about right before it starts to curve right here. It'll fit perfectly into the Cricut Mug Press, which is always a great thing. I'm going to be printing out the image on my converted Epson Ecotank, and we will be making the design for Mother's Day in Canva. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Change this to inches, and I have already tightly measured around the tumbler. So I know that it is going to be 10 by 3.5. And we're going to go ahead and say create new design. And I have already downloaded the elements that I'm looking to use. So I pretty much wanted this Mother's Day gift to not like scream Mother's Day or say Happy Mother's Day, but it pretty much says woman. That's pretty much the goal that I'm going for. This design that I'm going to do here, I think is good for Mother's Day, birthday, or just a gift to say, hey, I like you. So yeah, that is what I'm going for today. So we are going to start with these cascading rose petals, and I'm going to duplicate this. Now the thing I liked about this particular design and the petals was when we go around 360, we don't have to worry about a seam meeting up, so it'll almost create an invisible seam but still give us a 360 effect. So that totally works. Now, because this is the background, I don't want it to pop louder than the foreground. So let's go ahead and take our transparency down, I think to about 75. That looks good. And we're going to do the other side the same way. So we'll just say 75. Okay, now that we've taken it down, the petals look a little bit dreary or dim. And I'm going to go ahead and filter that. And one of my favorite filters to add the pop of color back is Peony. And so now they're nice and bright, but it won't be too bright and compete with what's going on in the foreground. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. The next element that I want to add is a little bit of bling. So let's try gold glitter. And I think this is the one that I like. So I want to add this to kind of nestle right on top of our falling petals to just more so complement them, not take over the whole mug. So I'm going to vary that element there, and we're going to just stretch it all the way across. And you see I'm kind of like making it thick in some places and thin in the other places because I don't, like I said, I don't want that element to necessarily take over the top of our tumbler. I just want it to complement it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this again, and I'm going to bring it down here to the bottom. And we are going to flip this vertically. And we are going to do the same thing. We just wanted to add a little bit of bling, which is why I'm pulling it all the way down. I don't want it to be very heavy. Nice and light. And duplicate it again. One more time. All right, so we got our sparkle in here. And just a little bit will go a long way. So you notice I made it a little bit more sparse at the bottom than I did at the top, and that was on purpose. Now the next element I want to go ahead and add is our little lady here, which I'm going to be putting a quote in here, and the quote is about being a queen. So she is very regal, and she is going to sit right front and center. All right, she looks pretty good right there. Now, one thing I do want to play around with, so let's go back to the elements, is a crown for her. let's see, a gold crown. And something that is pretty simple. Now, some of the elements that I am using are a part of the premium version, so you'll see Pro by them, and other elements are going to be free. Now, I'm quite sure you could also find a basic crown, or a simple crown through a Google search as well. So don't worry, some stuff is just going to be out there for you to get, and you could upload it and use it how you see fit. So I just want to make sure this crown sits right on her head. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to stretch that out. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So we are gonna go back down in size. All right, so now we have our queen sitting in her chair. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and add some words. Right now I'm in love with the words being centered, like going all the way around the tumbler. All right, let's go ahead and add our text. So first thing I'm going to do is highlight it, change it black so I can see what I'm doing. And the first part of our saying is going to be, she is a queen. All right, and I'm going to duplicate that. And the second part of the quote is going to say, her soul is royalty. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and add a fancy script here. And there is one that I really like. Was this it? Nope. So you can pretty much be as creative right here as you want to, but the one I am going to go with is the Estelle Madison, because it's bold, but it still gives us a little bit more of a flair and personality, but you can actually read and understand what it says, and that's always important, especially when you're giving a gift. You don't want the person to say, oh, that's nice, but what does it say? So yeah, and to avoid that, go with a simple font, but something that does have a little bit of personality to it. All right, so here we have it. We've added our background elements, our foreground elements, as well as our text. We are ready to go ahead and send this to the printer. I just want to make sure that everything is the way I like it, and it is. Looks nice. So we have a little bit of pizzazz, but nothing that is like too heavy-handed, no one thing. So your eye will travel all the way around the tumbler, which is important. So what we are going to do is go ahead and download this as a PDF print, and this is going to ensure that it is the same size that we made it, so it's going to remain that 10 by 3.5. I'm going to download it. I'm going to go ahead and send it to my sublimation printer, and guys, please don't forget to mirror, and then when we come back we will begin the process of putting it on the tumbler. Here is the printed image, and I am happy with the way it came out. Wasn't really looking to go traditional with pastels. I wanted to be a little bit bolder, and again, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't want it to be like Happy Mother's Day, Mom. So I wanted something a little bit more unique. So let's go ahead and prepare our tumbler for the press. Now I have already cleaned it off with alcohol. I am trying my best not to touch it with my fingers so that I don't transfer any oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up here, just a little bit extra precaution. All right guys, we are all wrapped and ready to press. All right guys, so of course the mug press is not made for a tumbler, so we are going to have to insert and then turn. So we are going to do no more than 60 seconds on each side. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in here, and I'm gonna use the tape as my guide. So we'll do the front first and then the back. And like I say, we'll just go for 60 seconds. Time to turn. I'm gonna put this on the back side. And go again. All right, we're gonna let this cool to the touch, and then we will unwrap. Okay, we are completely cool to the touch. And it is time to unwrap. It is funny, I have unwrapped so many mugs, tumblers, and different things like that, and I still get excited like a girl on Christmas unwrapping these things, which is alrighty. The big reveal. Oopsie. Ooh, I really love how my reds came out. They are nice and vibrant. So the red back here, I definitely didn't want it to compete with this red, and it came out just as I imagined. And we got our seamless look. You can't even tell where it begins and ends, which is what I was going for. So she is a queen. Her soul is royal. So yeah, guys, this is all I have for you today. If you got any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know. Go ahead and subscribe to Color Me Portia. But until next time, peace.